Moving into long ball number 3 here on Monday morning. Two of the biggest signings in the MLS summer. Mr. Mueller in Vancouver and Mr. Sun in LAFC, both scoring their first goals over the weekend. An absolute free kick banger for the South Korean and a controversial, very late penalty win and for Mueller up in Vancouver.
Not a penalty. Not a penalty. Not sure how we get to that. Not a penalty. Don't know why that's a penalty. Don't know why that's given. I don't know why VAR is not fixing mistake. Not a penalty. No, I don't understand. You're running after a player who goes into the box. That player goes down in front of you. What are you supposed to do? I mean, I don't understand really what is at play there for the. I mean,
I watched it. I replayed it over and over and over again to see what contact they were talking about. Because even the commentator said, "Oh, yep, there's contact. That's a penalty." I wish I had the NCIS super zoom because I didn't see that contact at all. And even if there was, it was so minimal.
I mean, absolutely minimal. Absolutely minimal. That is, and again, I just to give a penalty in that situation feels wrong. Now we're in this moment with VAR in particular, where everything is supposed to be like clear as day, black and white. This is why we have this, so we can fix mistake. Oh, look, that wasn't called a penalty, but look, there's a foul or whatever. It's a penalty. But all I see with VAR is just more confusion about why we're not. And again, the game is subjective by nature. Refereeing is subjective by nature. There are moments where it's like, yes, that seems pretty clear to be a foul or a penalty or a red card. But there are lots of moments in this game that are at the discretion of the referee as to whether or not they are the right call. And sometimes, now, again, if you want to argue contact and that means penalty, by the laws of the game, I guess that's justification, Rob. But I want human referees to understand the game that they are officiating and make the right call based on whether or not, if the defender is not intending to make any contact, if the defender is in a position where his leg gets clipped by a player running in front of him and that player goes down, how will you call that a penalty worthy offense? How is that an offense to begin with? And how is it a penalty worthy offense? So again, plenty of people saying, I don't see contact to begin with. And then, so we now are talking about giving consideration to players going down, like basically advantaging a player who goes down in the box under no contact because sometimes you're going to get a penalty. And I know that's always kind of been the case, but aren't we supposed to fix it? Why are we not fixing it?
I mean, VAR is supposed to be there to remove some of the human error in the game, but you're just kicking it up a notch to add another layer of human error, essentially. Because if this is a penalty, and didn't they VAR and then give it afterwards? So after looking at it closer,
yes.
We need. Oh,
yes.
So that's even worse then. So it's like maybe smack in the moment. Oh, so quick, bang, bang, he fell. But then to like go back, pick it apart, like I said, did he have the NCIS zoom in technology on that?
And remember that this is a winning goal in a massive game for Vancouver. Now, St. Louis doesn't have much to play for at this point, and they're not making the playoffs, right? But I just, it seems like a spirit of the game thing to me. Like, again, you're running towards the ball, the attacker crosses in front of you. And again, even if there's contact, how on earth does that represent a foul that you have committed? I just don't know, Rob. I just don't know.
I put a freeze frame in the video files there. I don't know if we want to
tell you nothing. That doesn't tell you anything, Rob. There is a moment where the feet are much closer together, where the foot and the leg are much closer together, right?
But the ball isn't even in frame there either.
Well, no, I understand the ball is gone. That is also maybe part of the consideration as well. Yeah, exactly. So again, if you want to get into like a argument about the laws of the game, that is one way to go with this, but I think it just comes down to whether it should be given, right? And that should imply subjectivity. Subjectivity is part of this. A referee shouldn't be giving a team an opportunity to win a game, whether it's a regular season match or whatever, based on something like that. That does not feel like the kind of foul that should be awarded, and therefore, again, a penalty given when not only is the ball away, but you have where are we in the box? About as far away from the goal as you can possibly be, right? We're at the top corner of the box, and that's going to be where I have a producer on the radio show, Emmett McConnell, who has his own principle for these kind of moments, Rob. And this is his idea. His idea is if there is a foul in the box, the ball's outside the box by a lot. Yeah. If there's a foul in the box and there is no goal scoring chance denied by the foul in the box, right? Because of whatever, players in the way, it's at the top of the box, you're going away from goal, whatever it might be, it shouldn't be a penalty kick. A penalty is too much of an award for that foul. It doesn't feel right. It's not in balance with what was happening in the game. You're giving a penalty for that? Not because look, if a player is going in on goal and is about to let the ball go and score a goal or at least get a shot off, and you don't know if the keeper will save it, and somebody clips him and he goes down, that seems right to give a penalty. Oh, he almost scored. He might have scored. If you can say he might have scored by the sequence that delivers the penalty, then give a penalty. If you're gonna say that this is a might have scored situation, no way. No way. No one who has ever seen a soccer game is going, you know what? That was a goal scoring opportunity. It was not. It was probably 2 or 3 seconds, 2 or 3 passes, 2 or 3 sequences away from a goal scoring. Maybe he cuts it back and there's something, but there's 4 defenders in the box bracketing 2 Vancouver players. Shouldn't be a penalty.
It's pretty nonsensical. And just in another game where I was really had my hands on my head because of a VAR decision. I mean, I didn't necessarily, because I got so many midweek, I didn't necessarily want Inter Miami to get another one. But in that Inter Miami versus DC United, it was 1-1, and a header went onto a DC United player's arm at the death, and VAR didn't even look at that one. So not the 100% the same situation, but in midweek in the League's Cup, the VAR parsed through things, and Inter Miami got 2 controversial penalties, and then at the weekend something almost exactly the same happened in the DC United game, and nothing.
Here's the problem. So Riverside Grove is going in on this. He says if you trip a guy, that's a foul. It doesn't look like a trip to me. So I don't know. We're arguing here. It doesn't look like a trip. Why do we want referees picking winners and losers based on feels? That smells corrupt. That's taking it to an extreme. I'm saying you trust a referee who is trained in the game to understand what moments are moments to give a penalty and what moments are not, based on the kind of contact. Look, if he had kicked his leg out, if the defender for St. Louis had kicked his leg out and dropped this Vancouver player, regardless of where, I'm saying, okay, fine. Look, by the law of the game, as currently written, that's a foul, that's a penalty. But that's not what we saw here. What we saw here was something so subjectively questionable that not even everybody sees contact. How can you go back to a video and say, well, there's definitely a foul there? Like, I don't know how you can say that with clarity. And again, we're using VAR to go back and re-referee for what purpose in this situation? Leave the call on the field if you're not sure. Why are we spending extra time? Why is the referee in the booth going, you need to go take a look at that, when nobody can see whether it's 100% contact or not?
There's nothing clear and obvious about that situation whatsoever.
The problem is that if you do want if you want to get us as close to clarity as possible, or close to black and white as possible, then you have to give everything that even smells like a possible penalty, right? So, and Rob, I wasn't going to bring it up, but you got me riled up this morning. I'll mention what happened in the Fulham United game.
Yeah, okay? I knew you did. I wanted to give you that platform today.
Manchester United is given a penalty, which ultimately didn't. They're given a penalty. That I'm trying to think of that moment. You're talking about Lenny Yoro pushing off, and that goal for Muniz off the back of Muniz, because Lenny Yoro pushes off of Bassi, gets space to go up, win the header. Meanwhile, on the other end of the field, right, we get a penalty given on Bassi for what looks to be a little bit of a takedown. Now, I do think there's probably some play acting there, right? But if you're talking about wrestling in the box on set pieces,
it goes both ways.
It should go both ways. Right? It's a penalty because Bassi executes a takedown, but it's a fine goal for United because even though Yoro pushes off. And it's pretty clear he pushes off because the arms are extended and Bassi moves. So again, and so what we're saying is, if you want some like black and white, well, then every single one of those should be called, right? And therefore, on every set piece, Rob, this is like holding in American football. On every set piece, there is wrestling, there is grabbing, there is holding. Sometimes there are takedowns. How many of those get called penalties?
I mean, that's supposed to be one of the new things of this. Actually, might be our future. Because apparently that's supposed to be a thing of emphasis.
Is that what we want, though? Do we want every set piece to result in a penalty because some center back is grabbing a forward? Like, what is that what we want? I don't know.
Well, what made me think of that, if they're going to be re-refereeing every corner kick or set piece near the box, that reminds me of, so they get like a video booth review in American football for holding. Like, you could go back and look at any one of those plays and throw a flag for holding. So if we're going to nitpick every single corner kick where there's, half a dozen bodies, bopping in the penalty area, there's just it. I really hope that that's not the future that we're looking at. That's all I got to say. But
I mean, again, you want it to be like no subjectivity, then everything's got to get called. Everything, every grab, every push, every handball that's even slightly questionable. And again, we even had this recently, right, with the handball that was given against Everton. Arm stuck to the side for Tarkowski. Ball hits his bicep. Now, it looks like he leans into it, which to me feels like a penalty-worthy foul. But if you're going to go by, well, he had his arms to his body. But then it's still subjective. It's subjective for them to give it. And if they hadn't, there would be bloody murder on the other side. Oh, that's a handball. He leans in. Right? How were we ever going to have pure... Okay, let's move on because I know we've got a guest waiting and I'm getting all riled up.
We're getting all riled up indeed. I mean, the VAR, the endless debate continues here. And if you've tuned into this, not hit subscribe yet, do so now. Join the town square of American soccer conversation that is Morning Kick Around. You can also become a member of the channel, become an MK Ultra, or you could just send in a super thanks. It's just a thanks button right under this viewing window. Follow us along on social media. Write us an email or support us on coffee.com/morningkickaround.